Continue.
3, 2, 1. Hi, folks, and welcome to another episode of The Guys. Today, we are going to be talking about finance, money, the entire stock market collapse. It's going to be a hot mess today. But before we get into that, with me as always is Luis, Xavier, and Chris. Chris, how was your week, sir? How are you doing?
It was a good week. Hey, we got a lot of rain here. Work was actually good. Things went well. Got my daughter today. She's being a good girl, watching a movie, and she said she would let me do this for a little bit. So we'll see if that happens.
I'm glad you have permission. How about you, Zave? I know you're wrapping up your vacation, and I know work cannot wait to get your young, youthful soul back into that building. How are you excited? How was your last week of vacation?
I'm going snowboarding tomorrow in Bear Valley, so I'm gonna just wrap this one up, have some fun over the weekend, and cry myself to sleep on Sunday, and then get back to work on Monday.
I would just take one more extra day. Say, hey, I got snowed in. Sorry, guys. I don't know. What would you do, Luis? How was your week, dude?
It's good, man. I got away from work for a half day on Tuesday or Wednesday and met up with Zave and had a good round of golf practice.
Oh, yeah. Where'd you guys go?
Right here in Manteca.
Okay.
He came over and we just
start getting
hit the
better,
range.
dude. Hey, I was looking sharp out there. I was getting a little bit better.
I heard you was killing it.
Oh,
you was making great contact. And me and Johnny got to watch out.
Next time we get together, it's gonna be nice.
Is it? You're no match for the Alante.
Gonna beat that ass.
Hey, but he's got sports authority. All right.
No. Hey, to each their own.
Hey, got enough for that, my guy.
Every man's as good as their weapon.
I'm gonna shit on your Kirklands.
Kirklands. Hey, don't talk shit about Costco. They're listening right now. Okay, Jesus. So, hey, while everyone's here, let's get right into it. So, one of the things. Besides, in school, how about this? In math in school, what they taught you was how to figure out Pythagorean's theorem. They taught you, hey, this is what you do to get the area of something. They let you know exactly what pi was, the whole 9 yards. No one taught you how to write a check. No one taught you about finances. And here we are. I'm 35 and I had to learn about finances the hard way. So I want to know how everyone else is managing their funding and their money and things of that nature. So Luis, you are the only one here that owns a house. So tell me about it, man. Let's start with you, man. What is finance for you, my guy?
Finance for me is finding Cynthia and giving her my money.
That's it. We're gonna wrap it up, guys.
Find yourself a good one, and you'll be taken care of. No,
financial advisor, Cynthia.
No, she honestly, she got a lot of financial management passed down to her from her mom, and it's helped me keep myself in check and stuff. And we pull our money together when we make purchases like the houses that we have, and little projects that we want to do, and just kind of do it that way. We don't overspend. We plan out for things like we want to take vacations, if we want to take trips, and most of our money is in our savings accounts. We don't do a lot of investments because we're both very ignorant to investing. With the exception of property.
You're absolutely right. That's a pretty good point. Most people are. So that's why I'm curious what you do. So it sounds like I was going to ask you what you do with your money, but it sounds like the majority of your income is put into a savings account. I'm assuming with your bank, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we have split accounts, and just kind of we split our
accounts.
Yes, sir.
That is an episode for another date. Whether or not you should
sounds like a different topic.
Your money. That sounds like a completely different topic.
That sounds like
I cannot wait to explore that later.
And I vouch that's the way to go. That is the way to go.
Okay. That's like I said, I would love to discuss that one a little bit later.
Absolutely.
But Chris, hey, let's move on, my guy. What do you do with your money? What do you do? What do you got? What do you spend your cash on? How do you save? Where do you put all your money?
I am very good at making money, and I'm very good at spending money. Investing money, not so much. I have just a basic 401k at work that I've been contributing. I made sure that I did start doing that really when I first started at this company, knowing that at the beginning they had a match program, and look, you got to get in, build that. build that money early. But other than that, I mean, I haven't invested anything. I'm just saving up money, trying to get a house here in the Bay Area. I need a good woman to help me with that.
Oh, hello. You need a sugar mama.
I need a sugar mama to help me with my money. Like, honestly, like I don't know. I've thought about investing, but seriously, my long-term goal is, look, I get a house in the Bay Area, that's my retirement right there. I get a house in the Bay Area, I can sell that and I can move anywhere and just be huge, you know. My goal, hey, get something smaller that I can at least get in and then be there for 10 years and then go live on a country club. And then when I'm ready to retire, then I retire and I move wherever the hell I want and get the biggest house and still have a ton of money left over.
Got it. Does that sound about right, Xavier? I mean, is that kind of in line with what you're doing? Are you doing the Luis thing? Or are you doing your own?
Well, I don't have somebody that can help guide me along. I think I'm probably more in line with the rest of us, really. But aside from before Luis had Cynthia, I'm sure he had some guidance from his parents, and I'm kind of going off of the guidance that I was given from my dad. Who's a very smart investor, and you know he's utilized his resources very intelligently, and is able to fund his retirement. He was able to retire early, or at 55, which is early for us, early for our standards, right? Yeah. So he's able to do that, and he built his own house. So I mean, he still has to pay a mortgage on it because we paid for all the materials and stuff. But I mean, he's sitting pretty nice right now, and you're able to retire at 55. So anyways, I'm not super aggressive in terms of like how my investment portfolio looks. I'm kind of in the same boat with Chris, where making money isn't a problem. Spending money is up there on priorities, but over the last couple of years, I've really tried to clamp down on things that I've would normally buy. I'm not doing anymore, and I try to make some smart decisions in order to give myself some more resources to invest. But that being said, I try to take advantage of the mechanisms that are available to me, such as my 401k, because it's free money, and then also the company I work for gives us a discount on stock purchasing. So quarterly, we invest about 10% of our salary, or however much you want to invest, up to 10%. You get a 15% discount. So the way I look at it, it's an automatic 15% ROI on your return, if you decide to sell at some point.
Right.
So, but outside of that, I've dabbled in the stock market a little bit just to get my feet wet and see, how that process works. And I've also kind of screwed around with crypto back in 2017. So that was a learning experience as well. But yeah, like I said, outside of that, not too crazy. Not too crazy. I mean, Johnny, I know you've gotten into some of the tech companies and Tesla and all that. I'm interested in hearing what kind of process you have.
Yeah, dude. Hey, you're absolutely right. So no one really taught me shit about finances when I first started. No one taught me anything. I was like, hey, actually, the first person who mentioned something about this to me was Tim Tyler. So Tim, if you're watching, thank you. He's like, bro, you got to start investing.
Penny stocks.
Penny stocks, bro. Try it. Give it a shot. Give it a shot. I was like 24, 25. No, maybe not even that. Like 22, 23, 24. And I was like, I don't want to do that. That's fucking the old man game. I don't want to play that shit. I don't know what I'm doing. But like I said, he was willing to teach me. I learned a little bit, but it wasn't my game quite yet. This is what someone rocked my mind. His name is Richard, and he was the one who helped me with some of my cash. He sat me down.
Him Dick.
I don't call him Dick. If he's managing my money, I'm not going to call him Dick. So that's another good rule of thumb. So he was like, Johnny, you signed a 401k. My first job was with Target, right? And he was like, you did 401k? And I was like, yeah, 401k. He's like, who signed you up for that? And I was like, oh, the HR rep. He's like, hey, did she go to school for finance or anything? I was like, well, no. He's like, then why did you sign that? And I was like, well, they
it's like the standard offer. What do you want me to do?
She said to sign it.
Yeah.
And he was like, and you just fucking signed away 5% of your paycheck? I was like, well, yes. And it fucking rocked my mind because I was like, holy shit, why the fuck did I do that? He was like, because that's just the norm. That's what people tell you to do. And so everyone else is doing the same thing. So you jump in line and you say, everyone else is doing it, I'm going to do it. So Luis, you keep money in a savings account. Not saying that's bad, but I did the same thing for a long time. I was like, gotta save my money. I'm not going to put it under the mattress. I'm going to keep it in the institution. I'm going to save my money. That's what I want to do.
Well, right, Johnny, exactly what you're saying, that, you know, you're not taught these things, right? You're taught, hey guys, you should think about your future, and the 401k is the easiest thing to do, right? I'm not a financial guru, and hey, it's okay. Let me invest early by putting in a 401k because I don't know, right? Hey, I follow the masses because this is what I'm told. At least I'm being smart in doing this, but I don't have the knowledge and the education in this to not do it and go try to do things on my own, because I haven't been taught, and I haven't looked out to search for that either, because I think there's also some comfort in just, oh, well, hey, I got a 401k, right? Like, I have some comfort in that, oh, I'm a smart guy, I got this, right? With not really knowing what's going on or what other options are out there.
You got you. So I'm not talking shit. I want everyone to know that if you're watching at home, I am not talking shit about anything, because someone had to teach me what was going on. And by no means am I a financial guru. I don't live in a fantastic house. I don't drive a fancy car, but I'm managing my money a little bit better than I used to. And I think that's what we're all trying to do. So think about this. Luis, your 401k, how does that money grow?
It's diversified into a bunch of different stocks. There's you get to, on the website, you get to choose how aggressive you want to be with the money that you have in your 401k.
Mm-hmm.
So it has a projection for you that you can kind of mess around with, and what you're projected to by the time you get to retirement.
Correct. Chris, how about you? 401k. How does it work?
About it. How does it work?
Yeah.
I put some money in there and I hope I make some money. That's what I do.
No, standard, man. And again, I'm not talking shit, but that's usually what people say. Hey, you know, they told me my money's going to grow if I put 5% in here. They're also going to give 5%. Hey, that's what I did. I was like, hey, until I did some research on it. I was like, sure. I was like, fuck. What they don't tell you is that if the stock market should crash, so does your fucking 401k, right? And they don't really lose money. They're like, oh, it's your fucking money. You know, we're making money on whatever you make, right? So they're basically taking 5% of your paycheck. They're taking that money that you're allowing them to take, and your corporation is reinvesting it into buying more land, buying more buildings, buying more materials for whatever they're doing. And then the profit they make, hey, they're reinvesting into the company, and hey, whatever 5% you get back to. That's what they're doing. So they're taking your money and they're reinvesting it on a grander scale, multiplied by whomever works for them and making it work for them. And then, hey, if it works, it works. And if it doesn't, if it works, you get some of your money back. If it doesn't, you get none of your money back. But the company still tried, they did their thing. And that left me salty. I was like, fuck, I should be doing that with my own fucking money. Why do I have to take a risk? Because just like what you said, Luis, hey, they're going to take it depending on how aggressive you want. If you go to whatever website, usually it's Merrill Lynch or something like that. They have different levels. Hey, do you want to be super aggressive? Here's what it is. If you don't, more safer options all the way down, blah, blah, blah. So I had to do research, and I was like, hey, because I lost a lot of money. I was with Target for a long time, and I had a ton of money, saved up in the 401k, and I lost more than half of it when the stock market and everything crashed, like in 2008. I was like, I left the job and I went to go transfer it over. I was like, where the fuck is all my money? And they're like, oh, well, here it is. And they gave me a printout, and I was like, all my money's gone. Why? They're like, oh, well, it looks like the stock market crashed in 2008. Sorry. And I was like, cool, thanks. I was like, that's it. I was like, but I thought it was good. They're like, no, you got to read the fine print. I was like, what? I was like,
they fucked you over, because I had all the money that I put in, and all the money that Target matched was still in my account when I transferred over.
Well,
oh no, I had it too. I'm just saying I had a lot, because I had been there longer than you, right?
Of your
my value was gone.
Changed.
Yeah, exactly.
But you still own.
Yeah, go ahead.
You still own the value, right? So like, you still own the shares of whatever you invested. It's just the value of those shares were diminished because of the stock market.
They were toast. Okay, and I was like, okay, so
but
I got my money back.
If you transfer that over and the stock market recovers, then the values go up.
but it
The
didn't.
value of your portfolio should go up.
It didn't because we were in a recession for quite a long time. So,
But it has
whatever.
sense, right? So if
Sure.
the purpose of the 401k is something to keep through retirement, right? So you're talking about back in 2008. Here we are in 2021. So at some point you would have recovered by now, and you're still 30 years away from retirement.
Sure. So I took that money and I did something else with it. So that's and I've had a greater return on what I'm doing. So that's what I want to talk to you guys about too. So you guys remember when we tried jumping into the stock market?
Yeah.
You remember that? Luis, what did we jump in?
It was Fitbit, Square, Garmin, I think.
Garmin?
Or well,
The
Garmin
baby
is-
shit?
No.
Garmin's like a wearables,
Yeah.
like a fit technology or something like that.
Square was the one that
Activewear.
fucking you guys talked me out of, and it's up to like fucking
Fuck you.
$60-something dollars now.
No one talked you out of fucking
Yeah,
Square.
you did.
No, I didn't. I was in Square too.
Luis, I think you should invest in Square.
Oh, it's too late
man.
now.
You missed it, man.
Yeah,
Missed that jump.
Missed the jump.
Do you know when it jumped?
yeah, it was in the last like 4 years, like literally right after we got out of it, because it had its IPO, and then it was like at $12 for a while, and then now it's like at $60-$70, I think.
No, you're fucking tripping. Square is worth $215.
Oh
Okay,
my
well,
god.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen it since.
You got
What was
in at
the
13, 14, 15 bucks a
Yeah,
share?
that
It's at
was way back. That was
250.
way back when we got into it, Luis. Back
When
in
we didn't know what the
2017.
fuck we were doing.
It was like
Yeah.
11. It was like we jumped in.
$12.
No, yeah, let me show you because I'm looking at it right now. We jumped in like at 14, 15 bucks, and then it dropped down to like fucking $9, 9.14, 8.7, 77, and it hovered there, and we're like, oh, we lost money, gotta get out. Oh shit. And we were just tinkering with like $1,000
Yeah.
bucks at the time,
Yeah,
right?
it wasn't. Yeah.
And so it really took off once COVID hit and everyone locked down. That's what guess what people were fucking paying with Square. Boop. So it jumped up exponentially. Actually, a lot of shit has jumped up recently since COVID. I've made a lot of money in the stock market since I've been playing it because I have a little bit of a game plan with how I do it. But have you guys? So I want to know what you guys plan on doing with your money. So Luis, are you going to keep your money in the savings account forever? How come you haven't done something more with it? Is my question to you.
My plan is to buy properties.
So that's what you're doing.
That's
with
my
your money.
that's my
what I wanna
plan.
know.
So I don't want
I
to
wanna
tie
know
it
your
up to where I
financial
can't pull it out. So my financial plan is to set up my daughters. That's it. So 401k, properties, investments, whatever it is, it's no longer about me. It's no longer about Cynthia. It's about setting my daughters up for the future. So any moves that I make it's long-term thinking now. I'm not looking to make money tomorrow or make money, 3-4 weeks from now. It's so that by the time that I can't go work anymore, my kids are financially taken care of.
Sure, and I think that's a great plan. You know what? You stole some of my thunder. That's what I was gonna end with what I was doing because I'm doing the same thing, right? At some point, I realized I was like, hey, unless I win the lottery or something, I'm not gonna be the millionaire. I'm not gonna be the billionaire, and anything that I thought I was going to be when I was younger. However, there's still time for my daughters if you do it right. So,
Correct.
Luis, I'm glad that's what you said. You're investing in property. Chris, when your daughter is 30 years old, how is she gonna have money? What are you doing right now?
I'm working my butt off at work and making good money. But look, right, I thought about this and I went and I had a couple meetings with somebody about investing for my daughter and doing something with her. And to be honest, I mean, the dude was smart and a lot of it was kind of over my head. And I felt like he was just telling me what I wanted to hear. And
Don't go with him then.
no, and that kind of, I don't know, it kind of set me, that was literally like right before all this COVID stuff happened, and I was like, all right, I need to get real, I need to get serious with this. Like, friend of a friend, got into something and was like, hey, let's go meet up at the office, let's teach you some stuff how you can invest to help out your daughter. And I don't know, he gave me a book and I didn't really read it, but I don't know.
It's right next to 48 Laws of Power. Very good. So, Chris, I want to come back to you because I like where you're going with that. So, Xavier, you're in a great spot. You have no kids.
Yeah.
Okay, you're relatively young. You still have most of your soul. What are you
Pretty
doing
much.
with your money? What are you going to do? Or do you plan on staying with your company for the rest of your life? Or are you going to be one of the very, very old people that I see at Target or Walmart on Saturdays, you know, walking around because, hey, they have to stay alive?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Dude, I hope not. I hope I'm not that guy. I don't plan on staying where I'm at for longer than a few more years. I think I want to capture a couple of promotions and cut right out. But you know, as long as the getting is good here, I'm gonna stay here for a little while. You know, I wish I had made some better financial decisions when I was younger. I got into too many credit cards and stuff like that, and kind of screwed up my credit score and all that. And so it has been a process to dig out of it, and it was very painful. But I learned a lot of good lessons on the way, and thankfully now I have a very large shovel that I can dig myself out of some certain situations. So that's good. That being said, I've kind of mapped out a 5 to 10 year plan.
He has a 5-year plan.
What is it? Don't die?
For myself, where I'm going to start investing into the stock market a lot more, getting into more, you know, blue chip stocks that have dividends. Hopefully, really ride this train with the company that I'm on right now with this, you know, guaranteed 15% ROI. I mean, you're kind of biased because you work for this company and you think, hey, you know, this company's actually, you know, I see the inner workings of it, so I believe in it. So I don't care that I'm putting in 10% of my salary into this company, because right. I feel like I know where it's going, and historically it has outperformed many of its competitors. So for me, I think I'm okay there. But taking out a set amount of money every check or month or whatever it is, and just pushing it into where it needs to go monthly or bi-weekly, whatever it is kind of my MO now. You know, I put a little away into savings, not too much, just enough to like kind of survive if something crazy fucking happens. Yeah. But I'm trying to get to the point where my money is making money when I'm asleep, so I don't have to worry about, you know, working. I think for me, like, I'd love to retire early.
Don't want to be like Benito at HD Supply?
I don't, you know. I mean, if I work, it's because I'm working at a golf course. Oh, and I'm like a freaking marshal or something.
Oh, you know?
Something
that's
super
nice.
You know what I mean? Something super chill. You know, and then like you get paid to drive around on a golf cart and yell at kids to hurry.
We're fucking golfing. Xavier's like, "Hey, stop peeing over there." I'm like, "Whoa."
I'll drive into the group, be like, "Let me take a shot." Spark this one up. Let me take a shot. Hold on.
Spark it.
I loved what you said, because there's a lot of, you know, like, hey, look, I don't know about stocks and that stuff, right? But about being just financially smart. Like, the one thing is credit cards and getting your credit. Like, there's a lot of things even with that too. Like, hey, just because you have a credit card, look, you pay your bills, but you also got to have them increase your credit limit on there too, which is going to help boost your score. There's a lot of little things with that people don't talk about. But then also, just like, hey, look, just because I don't invest and I don't know shit about that, like, look, I got a spreadsheet with the money I bring in, how much I set aside. I said, hey, look, I put this aside to 10% to go into savings for others. Like, you can still be financially smart with the money that you're bringing in. Know what your bills are. Make sure you're always having more, setting aside for a rainy day. Like, there's simple things you can do to be financially smart without knowing about investing or getting into stocks or getting these other things. And then you can be smart and ask somebody like Johnny or Xavier, or, you know, other people that you trust, hey, how can I make more with my money? But first, take care of what you're getting and get your regular bills, you know, get 10% to the saving. Hey, this money comes in, I automatically do that. Start doing these little things first to be financially safe. And then you can think about, how do I make more money off of what I got?
Right. No, I think you bring up a really good point about that, because, you know, I think in the very beginning, when I was first trying to dabble into finances, is you can kind of get overwhelmed with how much is out there. And, you know, you kind of look at, you know, certain things and you talk to certain people, and it can get overwhelming because, like, man, those guys, like, they're investing and know how to do this and Really, what it comes down to, and the very first thing I think that I was successful at, was creating a spreadsheet writing down all of my
Excuse-
bills, writing down what I'm bringing in for my income, and really being able to visually see what the numbers are doing and what you're doing,
Right.
with your daytime. And
Right.
that can really help you understand the overall picture of your financial health so that you can start either paying down your credit cards or paying a loan down or whatever it is,
Mhm.
and then allocating money to some savings or investments. Or, before you even do investing, paying down your credit cards and then maybe finding out that, hey, I'm living a little bit outside of my means. I need to, shrink it down. An
Draw
example
back.
An example I'll use is, dude, 2 years ago I was in a super nice apartment. I was paying probably about $3,000 for a nice 2-bedroom, had a garage, awesome wood floors, tall ceilings. I mean, it was the whole nine. It was great. It was like 5 minutes from work. I could probably walk to work if I wanted. $3,000, like I said. I was spending probably 14 hours at the office, right? And I would come home and literally like eat dinner, go to sleep. I did that for an entire year. And I had just transitioned away from working from a job that was I was working from home. But did I really need to spend $3,000 for a huge apartment like that while I'm working?
Right.
And I'm at 14 hour days at the office? That doesn't make any sense. No. So, yeah, it's super fucking nice. And, it's a great feeling. You get to go home and
Right.
you get all this stuff. But is it smart? No. So what did I do? I downsized into what you can see right now is a 1-bedroom.
Hey,
Unfortunately, the pandemic hit, and now I'm at the house all the time, and I could use the extra bedroom for my home office.
Isn't that funny how it works?
But the
you know,
thought that you had the right mindset.
Yeah.
I mean, who would have? I mean, did anybody think that we were going to be at home for an entire year? I don't think so. So
I mean, they
I
tried to tell us.
fucking
They fucking told us
Right.
in the movies. We just weren't paying attention.
we weren't paying attention. But that additional like 1G, you save another $12,000 by doing that, and it's like,
Yeah,
okay, it's not a
That's
big
a
deal.
lot.
That you could use that to pay down a credit card, pay a loan off, or do more stuff, whatever it is, invest, whatever.
Hey, so real quick, because I know Johnny wants to get us back on track, but you guys both talked about paying off credit cards, and one of the things that I learned, and maybe this will help somebody out there, when I was going into the purchase of the second home, is I was paying off my credit cards to help increase my limit, but I was paying them off one at a time. And the loan officer that was helping me, she told me, she's like, it's better to bring your balances down below 30% on each card than paying off one card.
Right.
Because
Yep.
if so, say you have four credit cards and you go and you pay off one credit card, well, instead of doing that, if you use the amount that you paid off on that one credit card, if you spread it out over the 4 credit cards and brought the balances down to below 30%, your score would increase much higher than if you just paid off one card.
Right. And it's
That's a whole
beneficial to
nother-
have more than one card too.
That's a whole nother episode too, is credit
Yeah.
scores and stuff like that. I mean,
Yeah.
that could be a whole nother hour worth of talking, which is awesome.
I have a
Well,
lot
that's
of
why-
poor decisions that I can share. So
Well, remember that's why we're doing this.
We all
No
have.
one, we're moving on the fact that we're assuming that no one really knows what to do with money because no one told me shit until I had to figure it out. And it sounds like everyone figured out their own stuff. So,
we're all still learning, and we learn off each other, which is a great thing.
correct. That's
Yep.
why I like to bring this stuff up because I think it's kind of taboo. No one really likes to talk about it. So you know, Chris, you made a good point. Xavier, I liked what you said. I don't want to. It's about living within your means, and I don't want to end up that older person that has to work.
You're right.
You know, I have to go
Right.
to work because I need the medical benefits, and I need, because I can't rely on Social Security because it's not enough. I don't want to be that person. So, I do a few things. So I'm going to give you guys a little insight in what I do. And again, I'm not saying it's the best thing to do. I'm just saying it's worked for me so far. And I've grown a pretty significant nest egg, and I'm going to tell you what I've done. So first and foremost, Xavier, I like what you're doing. I also have stock options from my company. Okay. So they offer 15% discount. I'm sorry. I put 10% of every paycheck into purchasing. It's an employee stock purchasing program. So I get 10%. It basically puts 10% aside, and then once a quarter, whatever amount of money that I have built up, it triggers and it buys. Let's just say I put let's just say $5,000 aside from my paycheck for that quarter, it triggers and it buys $5,000 worth of the company stock. Now, just like yours, Xavier, whatever it's worth, if it's, worth $100, I get 15% off of it when I sell. So I'm sorry, I get 15% off of what the stock is worth at the time. So if it's 100, I get it for, is it 15?
85.
85.
Oh, I'm sorry, 85. Yeah, it's 15% off, right? So
Christ.
yeah, well, again, hey, that's like I said, I don't have all the fucking answers. So right off the bat, if I trigger my stock and I sell it, I get 15% back of what I initially invested. So 15% of 5,000. Anyone good enough on math? I'll put it up. There you go. And that's what
Too
it
many
is.
zeros for me.
Exactly, too many zeros. So that's what I'd get right off the bat if I sold. But what I've done in the past is I hold it because I know my company is doing very well. So I've held it, I've accumulated, and I've sold it at certain times, and I've made a significant amount of money. Now, with that, I take that money and I reinvest back into the stock market on certain stocks. So I'll go into that in a second. But let's just say your company doesn't have that. And another thing I like to do is I'll also, like what Xavier was saying, live within your means. So before I had any of that, what I would do is I put aside once a week manually. I would put $50 away every week for my checking. I put into an auxiliary savings account. So $50 could be a lot. Sometimes it's not a lot. I started at 20 and I didn't miss it. And then the next time I was like, oh, let me move it up. I tried 50 and then I went to 100 and then I said maybe 150. I said maybe, hey, 200. Then I was like, let's try $300 a week. And then I started seeing it and I was like, oh, fuck, this hurts. I can't do that. So find
But Johnny, that's the key, right? Setting aside a certain amount of money that's okay that you won't even notice. And then it just becomes standard practice. And it's like, it's not even there. And then you look, holy shit, I just saved this much money without even knowing it, right? Like, people, find something in your means that you can set aside, to put in the auxiliary account or whatever, whether it's 10%, 5%, 2%, $50, $20, find an amount as soon as you get paid that, boom, this money always goes over there and you don't notice it. Then you don't notice it and your other money is based off of, that. Like, it's such a great strategy, just to accumulating some money so you can do whatever, Johnny. I like that you said that, and how you said, hey, I wanted to do more, but then it gets to a point too where then you are affected, right? Oh, I can't pay these other bills. Yeah. Find that perfect amount.
And I think that's what everyone has to do. Everyone, I think everyone tries to keep up with the Joneses. They want to, put a bunch of money off to the side. It doesn't happen that way unless you have a shit ton of money or you win the lottery, or something.
All right. Well, everybody's always focused on the results, but nobody wants to see
no one wants to focus on the process.
That's a long game.
It is a long game. So also what I do, so that's two things so far. So I put 10% in from my paycheck into that. Okay. I put, right now I'm about $250 a week into my savings account. So that's like just my special nest egg. Say something happens, I get laid off, or, I get into an accident, something happens with the car, I need some house repair. That's where I can draw some of that money from. But, Luis, like what you said, this is what I was trying to get to. I'm working under the assumption that I am never going to be rich, but I want to make sure that both of my daughters are taken care of. So what I did is, the gentleman who helped me with my finances his name is Rich. He introduced me to something called an Index Universal Life Insurance Policy. So what I do is I put a certain amount of money aside for both of my daughters and myself as well. So this is what really hurts, especially for me. I put about $500 a month away, okay, for life insurance on myself. So should I pass away, my family's taken care of. They're going to get a significant amount of money. So if Jessica just decides to pull the trigger one day, hey, she's going to be a rich chick. Okay. Same thing. And it seems a little morbid. No one ever wants to talk about it, but I have life insurance policies on both my daughters. So should something happen, there's financial, I don't want to say setbacks. What am I looking for? There's compensation for that. But the best part about it is I invest $50 a month into this universal index life insurance policy, and it compounds. Okay, so there's a certain percentage that I'm guaranteed that it'll compound every year. So by the time that each of them are 30, it'll be well over $1 million for each of my daughters. Okay, now Mine is a little bit different too, because I'm putting a lot of money into mine. Mine doesn't compound as much, obviously, because I'm half my life is pretty much over. But again, I'm worried about making sure that I have life insurance for myself so that they're covered. Now, with all three of these policies, what people don't know is I'm gonna go over your heads here a little bit, so bear with me. It is a life insurance policy. So for mine, I can borrow against my life insurance policy. So once it gets to a certain amount of money, say I want to buy a house, I can pull money from my life insurance policy and invest that. So I can be like, here's the money I'm borrowing from my life insurance policy, and I can use that to help buy a house. Now, I have to pay that money back someday. So say I die, let's just say my life insurance policy is worth like $1 million, right? If I die and I borrow $300,000, Jessica only gets $700,000 instead of $1 million. Why? Because I've already borrowed $300,000.
Johnny, it's
401k. You can borrow against your 401k and you have to pay it back.
Sure, you have to do all that stuff. But go ahead.
It's a different type of life insurance policy that lets you be able to take money out, right?
Correct.
Okay.
So what a lot of people don't know is there's insurance. I'm sorry, not insurances, but there are savings bonds, and there's savings programs where you can put money aside for, say, your daughter, Chris. There's like a policy where you can put money aside for your daughter if she wants to go to college, right? You want to start a college fund for your daughter, right? Say you save like $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 in there, right? And it's for her college fund. This is what people don't know too, because everyone wants to do it. There's a good return on it. You can only use that money for college. Say your daughter doesn't want to go to college, and say she has a really good job. She's like, hey, where's that money? They will tax you, and it's fucking gone unless you use it for school. So for this, and that's why I had to do research, and I was like, let me see what I can do with this. And this is like, that's why it's called universal, because it's essentially life insurance. You're just basically borrowing against your own life insurance policy should you pass away. So I haven't done it yet.
On myself.
Please,
Just a
go ahead.
quick question. So the universal life insurance, is it just for your two daughters, or do you have one as well? And so does Jess?
Yes, not Jess, because I'm not trying to kill her. I have a life insurance policy for myself because I want to make sure.
Trying to kill your daughters?
No. I'm just saying, should I die in a car crash or something like that?
Yeah.
I want to make sure that my family is taken care of. I'm not saying if Jessica were to pass away, I know that I can grind and I can make sure that my family is going to be secure and we're going to be okay. However, if I die, I'm not sure that would happen because I'm not there. Like I'm just saying I.
So you only have one policy?
No, I have three.
So you
one
have
for me,
you and two
Hazel,
for your daughters?
Scarlett.
Yeah. But you
Correct.
won't. You don't have one for Jess.
Majority of the money
Not
goes
yet,
into
because
yours.
because it costs money. Now remember,
Got
it's
it.
only
Okay, got
50. So, and again, let me rewind. Because I'm older, it's 5. So because all this hinges on being an insurance policy on yourself, a life insurance policy, I had to get drug tested. They had to weigh me. They had to do all that stuff. They had to draw blood. They had to do the whole 9 yards.
Make
they
sure
were
you're
like,
healthy.
Hey, do you smoke? Do you
Yeah,
do
to
drugs?
see what your risk
Make
is.
sure you're healthy.
Yeah.
What's your risk? They don't do that for your daughters or for your kids
Right,
because
they're
they're
young.
fucking
Assuming
young.
they're healthy. Yeah.
They
they're
are
assuming
healthy.
Yeah.
So I had to do the same thing for Jessica. It was a little bit tougher sell, and she didn't want to do it. She was like, hey, you know what? I think that's a fucking scam, Johnny. I don't want to fucking do it, which is why I didn't do it. So I can't put a life insurance policy on Jessica unless she is like, hey, I want to do that because they won't let you.
I see.
So I didn't do it. Okay. And it would probably cost like $500, so it's $500 for me. So I had to do all that, and it sucked. I had to go through it all, and I had to do what I had to do. But I wanted to make sure my people were financially secure should something happen. And no one taught me any of this stuff until I had to go out and ask, and I had to figure it out. I had to do my research. And again, that I want to kind of, circle back in. That's the purpose of this episode. If you guys have questions, I implore you to research. You can message me if you have me, if you know me, and I can give you some advice. I can hook you up with some people. But just to recap again, what I do. Oh, and another thing I do is I'm heavily into the stock market. So the 10% that I put into my my company money, what I've done is I've taken that, and I think I've made maybe whatever money I've gotten from there. I did the math on it the other day. It was a little under 20% back. So whatever money, so for the entire year, the 10% that I put in, I've made about 19% of that money back, plus the money that I got back. So it was a very, very good year for me in regards to the stock market, because the stock market just blew up. Most of that stuff was Tesla. And but I have a program with what I'll do. I'll go over it with all you guys if you guys want to learn, because it's been
You got to learn from somebody you trust too, right? Like Johnny, I went and what I said earlier, that I went and talked to somebody about doing something for my daughter. It was through a life insurance policy, which seemed kind of weird to me, that, hey, I'm making money off of a life insurance policy, when, like, hey, I thought life insurance was like, look, if I pass away, then it just, get some money to my daughter, right? So it was weird to me to think of a life insurance policy as an investment, right?
So check this out. You are 100% correct, because it is a slimy, despicable way they do it. You don't want to talk. No, it's very taboo. No one wants to talk about it. So
right.
I'm glad you brought it up, because I love Rich. He was really good, but the entire thing seems sketchy.
Yeah.
It just fucking does, because in the back of my head, I was like, yeah, this all makes sense. But just like everyone else, I'm sure you guys are all thinking, how the fuck does this guy make money?
Right.
Why is he pushing so hard for this? And most of the time, they get a percentage of whatever you invest a month. Okay, so he was like, dude, fucking put all this money in, you should do this. And I was like, take it easy, kiddo. Let me figure this out. I need to know what's right for me. I was like, I can afford. He was like, oh, you should do this. You want more money? Put more money. I was like, I can't afford that. I was like, I'm gonna go fucking bankrupt, and you'll fucking lose you will go defunct on your fucking your insurance policy if you stop paying it. It's just fucking gone. So you have to make sure you maintain it, right? It's a constant game. So that's a risk that I take as well. But I did the math and I had to figure it out. I was like, what can I was like, $600 a month is something that I can put aside for my kids, for myself, for peace of mind, to make sure that, hey, 30 years from now, that's going to be a lot of fucking money, because I don't need it right now. I'm going to need it later on when I'm fucking 60, 65 and I want to go be a marshal on a fucking golf course somewhere. You know what I mean? I can borrow against it. I can do all that. That would be great. No, we're going to be rich from this fucking show. What do you mean? We're not going to have to do that. That's just going to be for shits and giggles, right? We're going to be rich. We're going
to be marshals on our own course.
Hey, fucking A. It's going to be the guys' golf course. Bam.
Hey, you got to have goals, everybody. Y'all you got to have goals.
Get some goals. So, if I'm serious, if you guys are interested, I can tell you guys, I would like to talk with you guys about stock market. I think this would be the third iteration of me doing that. The first time we did it, and it was a mess. The second time, I remember talking you guys into it a little bit, but it didn't work because I didn't know what I was doing yet. But I took a lot of trial and fucking error. I definitely lost money in the stock markets, but I figured out what to watch and what to do. You learn.
Well, you need that though, right? Like, you got to fail in something sometimes to be able to grow and to learn, right? Like, that's what you did, Johnny. Like, hey, you text us, every once in a while what's going on, right? And I respect that, because you've been there, you've been through it, you've lost money too, and you've learned how to make money. And I don't always listen to what you say for a lot of things, but for this, for sure, dude. I respect your opinion and your thoughts.
Indeed. So, hey, that's pretty much going to do it. I mean, it can go much. We can talk forever about finances and what we're going to do. Maybe another episode we can talk about what to do for the stock market. We could definitely talk about credit. Luis, I like it. We could talk about, hey, what we're going to do for retirement. We can definitely talk about how you and Cynthia, have split accounts, Luis, which, again, that's going to be a Dr. Phil episode a little bit later. But for now, I appreciate you guys stopping by and talking finances, or for lack thereof, rather. So I think that's going to do it, unless you guys have anything else.
I guarantee you 70% of couples fight over money.
Yeah,
that's all. Split accounts.
That's all Jessica and I fight about.
Why? Do you guys have a joint account?
No. I'm the breadwinner.
I don't understand why you're fighting. Yeah, but it doesn't matter.
She's a stay-at-home mom.
Oh, well, it's different though. So you guys have one account. It's a joint account.
It's a joint account. So, I guess you're right. It's a joint account. Fuck. Hey, you're absolutely right. You got me.
Nice.
What I got from this,
again, go ahead, Chris.
Closing thoughts. Go.
I'm very good at making money, and I never worry about that, because I know I can do that. And spend money, I like to do that, but I think I need somebody who is smarter, who can reel me in. So if any of the fans out there, want to help me out, I don't know, there's this girl Mackenzie, I seen her. She was kind of cute, so I don't know.
Taking a
Maybe
shot from downtown.
Yeah, you know, maybe I can take you out.
Downtown on live. I like it, my boy. Hey,
I don't know. You know, hey,
Steph
I
pull
like
up from Oakland.
fans.
Just
I like our fans. I want to show them a good time. You know, I appreciate it. Take you out, show you what I'm about.
Mackenzie, I'm telling you right now, my boy did his eyebrows just for you. So I'm just giving you a heads up. He don't do them for nobody. So just letting you know, putting that out there.
Oh my God, Mac will do. I am starting to blush right now. We'll have to discuss this on a much later date. But hey, guys, that's gonna wrap it up for this episode. I hope you learned something a little about finances. There's way too much to talk about in one episode. So I implore you, I shit you not, if you want to know, no one's gonna teach you. No one wants to teach you because hey, the rich want to stay rich and they want to keep us down where we're at. So do your research. No one's going to teach you unless you go out there and start learning. And I implore you, no one's going to take the initiative unless you do, unless you want to end up working at Target when you're 60 or 70 years old, pushing, zoning, all that stuff. Make sure you help yourself out and start now, even if it's just a little bit. So again, wrapping it up for tonight's episode. We will see you next time. Thanks for stopping by. Peace out.
Yeah, you know, maybe I can take you out.
Downtown.